Happy to have you aboard here for the Really Big Barbecue Show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Libertius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seed.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central show where we talk about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. The show airs live every Tuesday night from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. You can catch our number one's audio podcast on Wednesday. You can catch our number two in audio podcast on Thursdays. We'll talk about Friday here in a minute. Barbecue Central show coming to you live and direct from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Still to come on the show this evening, the embedded correspondents are joining me. Doug from Texas, John from Michigan, Rusty from the great city of Utah, and Matt Osmond from Tennessee. We will be nominating and then ultimately inducting a new Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class. You know what that means for the balance of the year. We'll take those people and we will start doing origin stories. Everybody loving the origin stories the last handful of years. So that will obviously continue as we close out 2024, which is rapidly coming to a close. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to facebook.com/BBQ Central Show, where our good pal Terry Howe is watching, and he's saying City of Utah. Terry, this is what we call a inside joke. So trust me, I know what I'm saying when I say the great city of Utah. You can also watch on the Twitter, which is twitter.com/BBQ Central Show, or you can watch the show on YouTube, where we have a YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. The Ninja gas and hot air powered grill will actually happen in 2025. For a brief moment, we were stuck at a stalemate of 50-50, but 56% of you are saying, no, that's not going to happen. I think if Ninja has a picture out there of it, at some point, that is actually going to happen. So I'm going to say yes, that is going to happen. In 2025, I think so. There's a lot of commonality that I see with some of the other cookers out there. Not the gas, hot air powered commonality, but there's some aesthetics that I see on some of that other stuff. So we'll see what the embedded correspondents have to say to that before we get into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame stuff. Coming up on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less this coming Friday, episode 352, taking you back to September 24th of 2013. This week, John, featuring a group segment with Barry Martin, a.k.a. CB, and Larry Gain, which I believe on the social medias back then was Barbecue Grail, I think. Just going off of memory, but I think I'm right on that one. Also, Larry, I believe, credited with making something called the Moink Ball, which was a meatball smoked, like moink, moo, oink. Maybe it was a combination of, I don't think it was a combination of ground pork and beef. I don't know, but I remember Larry Gain and Moink Ball being highly associated. This is 11 years ago, for crying out loud. In this segment, and I'm going to say something that I have not done research on this, but I think I actually did a few of these segments with these guys, but in this particular one, we do myth busting. Everybody loves myth busting, of course. I have no idea what's happened to both or either Barry and Larry, or Barry or Larry, and to be honest, are they alive? Are they doing well? I don't know. I hope they are alive. I hope they are doing well, but this is a good show, as they all are. John's such a magician at putting these 10-minute spots together, and we are inching closer and closer to episode 400, which to me is insane. And by the way, just for comparison's sake, 400 is a huge number for any podcast these days. Since tracking statistical analysis with Blueberry, the Barbecue Central show has in excess of 1,600 episodes. Wowzer. Don't forget, if you want to hear a guest or segment that you think's been lost in these archives, email John. Let him know what you would like to hear. John's email address is John, Jon, at thebbqcentralshow.com. You also have to subscribe to the podcast feed in order to hear the best of show. You can subscribe to that by going to the website, thebbqcentralshow.com/subscribe. And it will show up in your podcast feed. Every Friday, you'll get the alert. Let me see if I can go back to this. No, I don't want that. I want the open one. Let's see. Yeah. Before we jump into it, let me give you the update, because we're not going to get to it during the next segment or two. Final call, because in a week from now, it's going to be October 1st. As I had mentioned, 2024 rapidly coming to a close. So if you want this sweet shirt, you're going to have to email me very soon, and the subject line, shirt promo, and then I'm taking payments through Venmo, and the Venmo handle is at Greg Rempe, GREGREMPE, at Greg Rempe. Last four digits of the cell phone, because I think you need those for the first time you do something. Doug was telling me all about it. I lost interest when he started talking. All 4 zeros at the end. Uh-oh. That's not using the right link. Stand by. Matt, I don't think you're using the right link. You have to use the link that's on the agenda, which is in red at the top. I think you bumped John Solberg out. I think. Doug, are you using the link on the document? Just give me a wave so I can see in the little switch box. You use the one on the document? Yeah, okay. So you need to go hit the one that says Matt in red and show up in a different box. Otherwise, we got no John Solberg. And that would be tragic, my friends. Tragic! Anyway, back to shirt sales. So it's Venmo is at Greg Rempe, all run together. And then the last 4 digits of the cell phone, if they ask you for confirmation, all 4 zeros. And then send me the following monies for normal sizes, which range from small to extra large, $35. You can Venmo me that amount. You can also send me a check. But if I don't have the check by next Monday, if I get it on Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm just sending it back to you. We're not dicking around here. We are adhering to the rules. Without rules, there's chaos. We all know this. So size small to XL, $35. Size 2XL, $37. Size 3XL, $39. Size 4XL, $41. And size 5XL is $43. And again, that includes shipping from my home base to wherever it is you are. And we're taking orders until the end of the day next Monday, the 30th. We have over 30 shirts already in total paid for. So in my estimation, pretty big order. Nothing I can make a living off of, and that's why I don't sell shirts and keep inventory because it's nonsense, but we did it this time. And again, this is the only shirt. It's this navy blue, and it says this, like no options here other than sizing options. That's it. So if you're interested, get on your horse. One of you, I'm still waiting for payment on. I've shot you an email as well. I will remove you. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. Just let me know. And that's your shirt update. We're ready to go. We're going to do a Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Oh, for Christ's sake. Now I got to fix something during the show. I don't like fixing things during the show. Okay? I don't. But I'm going to. These guys keep trading in and out. Jesus Christ. Matt, they're trading in and out. John, you keep bumping in. As soon as you're out, you keep bumping into there. I just sent Matt a new link. Matt's working his way off the show. Very quickly, I might add. The Anthony Lujan would be less of a pain in the ass. Maybe not. All right, as we wait for Matt to load in, I'll talk to you quickly about Franklin Barbecue Pits. The Franklin Pit is primarily made of quarter-inch thick American-made steel. Anything that sees heat engineered to be incredibly solid should last at least a century or more if cared for properly. The thickness of that steel guarantees professional-grade heat retention, a critical component to making great barbecue. Every Franklin Pit, unique unto itself, to include its own natural markings and its own badged number. Yes. Stylistically reflecting the kind of bare-bones industrial handmade aesthetic that Aaron loves. Franklin Pits can be found at fine barbecue specialty stores in select regions of the country. If you, the listener, own such a store, you wish to become a certified Franklin dealer, please visit franklinbbqpits.com. Fill out the dealer form. If you, the listener of this show, want a Franklin barbecue pit and you live in a part of the country that doesn't have a certified Franklin dealer, you can visit franklinbbqpits.com and purchase a pit right online. Franklin Pits will ship you a Franklin pit right to your driveway. Either way, you own a store, you want to carry pits, you can do it. If you want to buy one, you don't live near a specialty store that's a dealer, you can buy it direct online. franklinbbqpits.com. And we are back with the embedded correspondence right after this. Stick around, be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a professional, it's just a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com. Tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. In fact, I got a text message from Amber Glanville over at Pit Barrel Cooker, and they're going to be coming on soon. So stay tuned for that. Happy to have that. We have no time to waste. We have a 2024 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame nomination ceremony to start with, and then that will preclude or culminate in a 2024 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Helping me do that are none other than the embedded correspondents. You would know them as Doug Scheiding, John Solberg, and Rusty Monson, and Matt Osman. Doug's right there to my right, and right to the right of Doug is John, and below me is Rusty, and caddy corner bottom middle is Matt from Tennessee. Matt, what link were you using?
It was the one that I had saved. Maybe an older one.
It's on the document. Your link is on the document.
I apologize.
You're on thin ice. You're on thin ice. All right. We have 100% assurity questions if we need to get to them, because there is a shot that we all utter the same 5 names 5 times in a row and have a unanimous class. Has it ever happened? It has never happened. Could it happen? Sure. Why not? And Doug will start us off. And once again, quick review of the rules. Everybody will go through and mention 5 names who they feel are most deserving to be Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. If for some reason we have the magical culmination of unanimousness, not a word, then it all ends right there. We have a quick class, and there we go. We go into the 100% assurity questions. If not, we start going into the argumentary phase and start picking our favorites. We make a plea. We have to go around everybody on the dais who is not making the plea. Everybody has to agree that that person is in, because this is the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, and it's not majority, it's unanimous, and that's how we do it here. So without any further ado, sure I'm taking proper notes here. Everybody loves when we do this. Doug, your names and why you pick them.
My first name is Chris Young.
Wow.
7 times, I believe, he has been on in the last 2.5 years. And his last appearance, I just listened to it again last week, on April 30th, was a steak PhD master class on the No Rest. I mean, he's our own Dr. Blonder. Meathead and Kenji are asking him to retest and give them information. They're looking to him as the expert. He deserves to be in.
He's a 50-year younger meathead. Let's say that. How about Sorry, Meathead.
And a biochemist and a 3-star chef.
And like a multi-millionaire probably as well. So he's got everything going for him. Great hair, you name it.
And combustion appears on my Instagram like every other minute. So,
of course.
Yeah. Okay.
Next.
In no certain order,
of course.
I have to undo what I forgot last year and didn't understand. Matt freaking Frampton needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So if only last year this wasn't mentioned, this stands on itself. He helped write the Christmas song.
Yes.
And that's played every year.
Co-wrote.
Every year it's on the bar. I know. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, John. I didn't remember that. I just associated with the Urban Slicer, and I thought, oh yeah, he's been on before. Hell, he used to be on a barbecue team, and so anyway, so yeah, enough said. I think other people, John will fill me in on other things I've missed out. Number 3 in no order. I'm going Andy Husbands.
Right.
That guy brings the knowledge, and he is one of the nicest people. He reminds me of Bob Trudnick in many different ways. I actually had some questions, and I reached out to him. This is probably 3 years ago, and on kind of trademarks and book writing and stuff like that. He gave me a cell phone number and then called me and told me to call him the next day.
Wow.
And on the show, this last appearance, I mean, it was just a fantastic appearance. So earlier in this year, so Trailblazer, barbecue champion, the Northeast. I think he won the Jack. Restaurant. I mean, what else? Other types of knowledge that he brings to the show.
Purveyor of barbecue TV. Nuts as well.
Oh, yeah, right. I wouldn't know, but apparently you do now. So,
I do.
Yes.
Very good.
All right. So, and I love the when he was last on. You pay rent all day long.
That's right.
So I love that.
Never forget.
All right, number 4, Fred Bernardo.
Wow.
Now, for some of the youngins, they're not going to know who this is. So, Fred was on the show, I think from like what I looked at, August 2008 to 2014. He was probably on 12 to 14 episodes.
Easily.
He had easily, yeah. So I could just find a 12 to 14 on my first search. So last night, so smoking guitar player he went by with Tasty Licks, blues band, Fred's Music Shop in Pennsylvania.
Shillington.
There was yes, and there was a post by a gentleman named Derek Thielball posted to our show page. Thielball, okay, thank you. 3 of us agreed. He mentioned him as being in the Hall of Fame worthy, and 3 of us on this call tonight agreed with that assessment.
Yep.
So Fred Bernardo.
All right. Last one.
Can't forget him. He retired in 2017. I didn't know that.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Yep.
My last one. This is going to be interesting. Stephen DeFranco.
Wow.
Jeweler of the Stars.
Wow.
I'm going Stephen. Here's why. I mean, he was a sponsor. I did research last night looking at, from 11 to 14, he was like a consummate advertiser on the show.
Yeah.
And let's say that he helped with the watch fascination of the show that's gone on for many stinking years.
Undoubtedly.
Exactly. Yep. John, exactly. So, and he's right there in Willoughby, Ohio, is he not? Yes. This would be
on a bad day, he's 2 minutes from my house now.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was he the first in studio guest?
Yeah. No, I believe Michael McDermott was probably the first in studio guest.
Okay, John's
unless
shaking
we're counting
his head
my
on
parents.
That.
My parents, John? Was it my parents? Yeah. Okay. Outside of my parents, I believe it was Michael McDermott.
You're correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So anyway, but he was so long ago. He was up there probably second or third.
Yep.
So I'm going. Those are my 5.
All right. Very good. So we got a Chris Young, a Matt Frampton, and Andy Husbands, a Fred Bernardo, and Steve DeFranco. Now we will move to the guy that knows more about the show than me. We will go to John Solberg, where we will get his 5. John, in no particular order.
And just quick clarification, Billy Carroll might have been the first in-studio guest before
I was
Michael.
thinking that too, but geez.
It's close. I'd have to check
tough.
it.
Yeah, indeed.
It's a tough one.
Yep.
So, great list, Doug, first of all. So I'm going to, in no particular order, here's my list. Christy Vanover.
All right.
Because it's time, Rusty. Because it's time. Okay.
That's the reason?
That's the reason.
Because it's time?
Because it's time.
I should be in the Barbecue Hall of Fame by that logic.
So, my next pick is Kevin Bevington.
Ah, yes.
Kevin Bevington, because it's time.
It's time.
Because it's time. I mean, FBA, freaking God, Outdoor Cooking Channel. Yes. He was a guest on the show.
Anytime.
He's not always a great guest, but he's always a great sounding guest.
Yes.
His tech was spot on.
Way ahead of time.
2011.
Way ahead of time.
He was so it was miraculous. So, Kevin Bevington.
All right.
Moving on down my list. Goes without saying, Fred Bernardo.
Ooh.
Right?
Right.
Something that people, 2005, 2006, Fred Bernardo was making YouTube videos, making rub and stuff.
Yeah.
He was actually like a YouTube beyond the show. I don't know, he really helped carry the show a long time. Can't speak to that, but Greg, I'm sure you'd agree. He was the main sponsor for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Had my number 5 on the list. I only had number 4.
Yep, that's number 4.
I jumped around. Matt Frampton.
Right.
Grill on grill action.
Hot
Christmas
grill
song.
on grill action.
Hot grill on grill action. The 12 days and
look, John, I don't want to interrupt you here, but just for confirmation here, I sat down with Matt Frampton and Mike Lang and one of Mike Lang's whoever runs the what do you call those things? The exhibitions for Weber now. I think his name was Matt, whiskey guy, cigar guy. We played the 12 days of barbecue Christmas for everybody at the table, and everybody like lost their shit as, you know, I'm singing it, and Matt's like, oh my God, I can't believe that was the lyric there. It was like bringing all kinds of nostalgia, as the kids say. We were in our feels for a good 2 or 3 minutes during the evening.
And it is the Alice's Restaurant of Thanksgiving to the Barbecue Central Show Christmas.
That's right.
So it's going to go down. So, and my number 5 pick is Greg Rempe. Because it's time.
Yeah.
He finally checked it off. I can say you only have to be on the show to qualify. I qualify a month ago as an interview, which makes it a life event, which actually in my brain qualifies you for the Hall of Fame.
Right. Very good. That's John's list right there. Now we go to the third longest running embedded correspondent ever on the face of the earth. Somebody from a city that is also a state known as Utah, Rusty Monson. Rusty, first and foremost, how's your life?
It's good, man. I think that I had 2 days off in a row. That was awesome. Today's one of them. And yeah, so I mean, we have FanX coming up. We're going to get murderized, but after that, it should slow down a little bit, and I hope not, but it should. And that might be good. Might be.
Do you have a list tonight?
I do, sir. I have a list.
All right. Let's hear the list in no particular order.
Happy that Doug agreed with me on Andy Husbands. I think I've been pushing that. This is my 3rd year, and you fools have not waken up to the idea that he's one of the greatest guests you've ever had. And as Doug alluded to, one of the greatest guys there is. He, again, with me, he would talk about food costs and stuff, and he's like, man, email me anytime, call me anytime. You have any questions, let me know.
Wow.
That dude runs what? He's opening, I know he at least has 3 restaurants now.
Oh, it was 6.
I didn't know easy task. Yeah, I haven't paid attention in a while, but he was opening new ones like crazy, and he has time to take Doug's call. He has time to answer my emails, and all that. So Andy I think that's a shoe, and I don't even think we should do any voting. Let's just put that one in. My next one, and I just gotta get out of the way because this is my 3rd year. Also nominating Emily Detweiler, and I will until you guys come along like you did with Andy. You guys are coming along to my way of thinking. And I think Emily's going to get there one day. Emily, who ran KCBS for a really long time, I think got it into a pretty good spot. I loved when she was on the show. She's really, really a sweet girl. Very, very nice.
Lady.
Really. Lady. Fine. Again, Christy Vanover. These are my lists every year, so we're just going to keep at them until we get them. I agree with John. It's just about time. Christy is, man, you could go on for days on what she does for barbecue right now. She has her hands in every fire, literally, and she kicks ass, and she's just the neatest person, and she's a hell of a cook, man. I ain't going to say names, but you know, have these big cooks on here. They cook food. They do okay, but man, she knocks it out of the park. She's the cook's cook. My other one, Todd Bullock, because without Todd, there's no Susie really right now. They kind of go hand in hand. Susie got nominated and she's in the Hall of Fame. At this point, why not Todd? Super fun to listen to him talk. He's a really interesting fellow. I just like listening to their segments with Todd. I like Todd. He's a funny guy.
Rusty, I'm not questioning your accuracy here, but is Susie Bullock in the Hall of Fame? Yeah?
Yeah, because I put her there.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
No, we
fine,
put her
2020.
there, sir. We put her there.
Yes, yeah. That had to have been unanimous. I just don't recall it, but I don't recall it yesterday, so that doesn't mean anything.
I'm taking credit.
All right.
Okay.
Last?
That's the last one?
No. You have one more left.
This is going to sound funny. This was going to be, I just keep on spacing his name, but
and
it was
you
one of my
say
favorite
Pat
interviews.
LaFrida, I'm going to jump through the wall.
I don't even know who that is. Who is Pat LaFrida?
I don't know.
Some dude you guys made up. I'm going to say, I don't know his last name. I hate to say this. It's so funny because I actually had someone a name. I changed it last night because his interview was so great. And actually, really, it was a really good one. It was one of my favorite, probably put on the top 3 interviews of all times. And he was a former embedded correspondent, Steve.
Steve Ray.
Steve Ray. Thank you. Really cool interview, man. And if we're going to go off interviews and put that one on my top 3, the other 2 are already here. Might as well throw Steve on there. That's my top 5.
All right. So Rusty is Steve Ray, Todd Bullock, Emily Detweiler, Christy Vanover, Andy Husbands. We do have a couple of repeating names, which is good to see. We will now go to the greenhorn of the bunch, Matt Osmond from Tennessee. Matt, your names in no particular order.
In no particular order. Amy Mills. I think she deserves it. I think her connection to barbecue via her father with her participation in the Hall of Fame. I think why not get her into this Hall of Fame? Number 2, Wes Wright. His immense knowledge, his dedication, the way he delivers his interviews with you, class act, sound mind, knows his barbecue. Number 3, Steve Ray. Rusty must have been thinking about some good old times. I had a conversation. I was this close to stopping by on my way to Savannah, but time didn't allow. Huge contribution to the show. Great knowledge, great advocate for the industry. I'm going to go with a more recent one, Andrew Zimmerman.
Ooh. It's Zimmern, by the way, if we're being correct. But
correct.
Zimmern.
I believe Zimmern. His
That's one of the most intelligent questions anybody has ever asked me.
Thank you.
If for no other reason than that. But no, he flowed. You chased it down. You stood your ground on it. And I think that interview stood its test and was well worth your persistence and dedication to your audio quality and to chasing him. And Byron Chisholm. I was somewhat a little flabbergasted that he wasn't already in there, especially from one of the originals, but he is not. And I think his repeat time on here, again, the butt rub. I mean, what else do you need to know about it? But those are my lists.
All right, now I have my 5. By the way, Matt's Amy Mills, Wes Wright, Steve Ray, Andrew Zimmern, and Byron Chisholm. My 5 are as follows. And we did have a repeat as well in some of these last 2 as well. My first one, I can't believe he's not in here. Mike McLeod from World Food Championships, been on the show numerous times. I think, as I said last week or the week before, dating all the way back to 2010, so 15 years of interviews, first as MMA Creative's president and CEO, which was the marketing arm that was doing work for KCBS at the time, ultimately creating World Food Championships, seeing wide amount of success, but still very accessible, still breaking news here on the show and being a great guest and giving takes. Sometimes hot takes could get him in trouble, but he's not afraid to share a hot take when it warrants it. So nominating Mike McLeod, number 1. This is a repeat name. Making it 3 in a row, Steve Ray is getting my nomination. So a huge and integral part of the show when he was first a Tennessee embedded correspondent. Who can possibly forget the catalyst, the main driver of getting Craig Barr on the show? The guy that was single-handedly trying to put Popeye's Chicken out of business because the parking lot had too many potholes and he had cracked the wheels on his excessively expensive Mercedes-Benz or BMW. And the guy gave an interview. I mean, that guy should probably be in the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. That was an interview the likes we have never seen before or since. So on the strength of that alone, I see Steve Ray coming in. Then Steve quit the show. Then he shows up many years later to really regale us with everything that happened, became ultra vulnerable, sharing his experience with what his wife was going through and how he was dealing with that. And then has circled back to rejoin the show in some type of semi-recurring sense, seeing a lot of success following the competitive food sport world. And so that's my take on Steve Ray. Next one, also a repeater. Matt Frampton, the Pizzaiolo de Pizziolis, of course. So, big fan of Matt. Always been a big fan of Matt from when he was with Hot Grill on Grill Action, then getting into the pizza scene. Of course, being able to see him live and in person the last 2 years in a row down at Hartsville Hardware's Grill Fest. Just a great human, giving great interviews here on this show in a number of fashions. Of course, writing the 12 Days of Barbecue Christmas with Logan Hendrickson. That's a huge achievement in its own right. Also, another repeating name. We're just repeating names all over the place here tonight. Fred Bernardo, the smoking guitar player. Doug and John both gave all the qualification that you need. Might I remind you that on this show, at least twice, he wrote original acoustic guitar songs, one by the name of Barbecue One, which is a song that he wrote about his old competition RV unit that he would take to barbecue competitions. But a longtime supporter of the show from a sponsorship standpoint, but also came on and gave just really great, entertaining, informational interviews for years and years before he divested completely out of the business, both from a barbecue side and a music side. And then rounding out my top five, another name that's already been mentioned, Chris Young. Few have taken this show by such storm, given incredible amount of information and great interviews and technical insight and taking on things and then coming on this show. So we're watching the video, then he's coming on this show and we're diving even deeper into the mindset. He's giving us his thoughts on why it was important, the feedback that he's getting, the hate that he's getting from some people because he's challenging what a lot of these wives' tales have led you to believe for so long. So that's my list. Mike McLeod, Steve Ray, Matt Frampton, Fred Bernardo, and Chris Young. So I don't think we have any unanimous right off the bat, but we are close on a number. So we'll circle back to Doug here. Doug, out of all of the five that you gave us originally, pick one that you feel is most deserving, and if you would like to further bolster an argument, we'll go around the dais and try and get a unanimous vote to get the first person into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I'll go back to Matt Frampton. We had three of us that went with him. So the Christmas song. That's all you need to say.
All right, so we know where John stands on that. John was a Fred Bernardo appreciator. We'll go to Matt Osman. I'm sorry, Matt Frampton. Did I say Fred Bernardo?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Matt Frampton. So John was also a supporter of Matt Frampton. We will go to Matt Osman and get a yes or no on the Pizzaiolo de Pizziolis. Do you think that Matt Frampton is Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame worthy in 2024?
Yes, I do.
Yes, all right. And that is 4. We are one away from a unanimous. We give it to Mr. Positivity, Rusty Monson. Is it a yes or no for the Pizzaiolo de Pizziolis?
Considering he was on my list last year and I totally forgot about him this year, I'm going to say yes.
All right. We got a Matt Frampton in, which is great. That's giving me hope for ongoing names here. John, you're up next. So Matt Frampton is in. We can cross him off the list here. Out of the 4 that you have remaining left, would you want to renominate somebody with a little extra bolstering, or do you want to bring somebody brand new into the mix?
As much as I might like to bring somebody brand new into the mix or switch, I'm halfway up the hill I've been saying I've been going to die on since we started this. And it's time to put Fred Bernardo in. Matt's in, Fred's in. Fred's still with us, as far as I know.
Yes, he is.
Let's get him in here while he can, that dude was, go back and listen. Yeah, there's time for some of these. Now we all could die tomorrow. However, some of these people that built the show, You know, the show might not even be here if it wasn't for Fred. So I'm not saying he carried it, but he sure did a lot of heavy lifting. So I'm going to try to get to the top of my hill with Fred.
All right, let's go to Mr. Positivity this time because Doug is a smoking guitar player devotee, as am I. So we only need 2 more votes to get us in there. Rusty, yes or no on the smoking guitar player?
I don't know who he is, but John convinced me to say yes because I like if that's what he did and that's what he's about, then absolutely he should be in here. Let's do it.
We are very close here on the cusp of putting 2 of 5 in. We go to Matt Osmond from Tennessee. Matt, is it a yes or no for the smoking guitar player?
Yes.
Wow. Fred Bernardo is in. He comes off the list. Very good. Now we will go to our pal Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah. Who are you renominating to try and get into the hall here? It's tough for Rusty. Look at him. He's debating.
Well, I think it's got to be Andy Husbands. I think that's by a hair. I'm going to nominate Andy just because he needs to be in here. He's awesome. And the more you have him on the show, the better. That guy's a great interview.
All right, so we don't need to go to Doug. He is a Andy Husbands devotee. We will go to Matt Osmond for a yes or no on Andy Husbands.
No.
And just like that, Andy Husbands is off the list again this year. We will go to Matt Osmond for somebody that he would like to renominate. Matt, go ahead.
Can I bring somebody new in?
You can bring somebody new in if you would like.
Damon Rodriguez.
Damien,
excuse me. Damien Rodriguez.
Do you want to talk him up or you just want to hope everybody knows who he is?
No. He was the illustrator, I believe is the correct word, behind some of the illustrations put to the audio of several guests and sound bites. Year plus back, I think he did a handful of them, if I'm not mistaken. It was a kind of a quiver interview, but he qualifies, and I found those illustrations to be spot on in his work counts.
Right, so Matt bucking conventional wisdom here, bringing in somebody out of the bullpen that out of the 5 that he originally nominated. Dangerous, but we'll see what happens. Let's go to Mr. Positivity here, Rusty Monson from Utah. Rusty, Damien, yes or no?
No, I don't know who he is. Sorry.
And that was a risky move there, Matt, but I appreciate the balls that you did to do that. I am going to... We put him in, so we can remove him. Who else did we put in? Matt Frampton, right. Okay. I renominate the first embedded correspondent from Tennessee, Steve Ray. Thank you. And Rusty was a devotee of Steve Ray, and Matt Osmond was a devotee of Steve Ray. So we have the 3 votes on the bottom, and now we're going to go directly to the top, where the longest-running embedded correspondent from Texas, Doug Scheiding, will weigh in with a yes or no. Steve Ray into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, Doug.
Yeah, when he left, there was some problems that between he and I, and when he came back on,
are you spilling the tea, Doug?
That interview, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So anyway, so all you have to do play the tape. You can figure it out.
All right.
When he came back on, and I understood what he was going through, it was just amazing. So. Absolutely. And I love it when Steve Ray would have the Butcher Barbecue on his show when he was doing a contest so he could get a new recipe and cook that at the, but that's neither here nor there. He'd have him on and, hey, what do you do for wings? And, I happen to have a wing contest. Anyway, love him. Let him in.
All right.
I'm a yes.
That's 4. We only need 1 more to get Steve Ray in there. John Solberg, is it a yes or a no? Is Steve Ray in?
I'm just recovering from Doug's comment on there was problems, and like you're the only dude that didn't know. Like you were just not paying attention.
I think everybody loves everybody. I'm like Mr. Positivity Jr. next to Rusty. That's it.
I was stuck between them two kids, man. Like I was constantly, I was just like trying to be Switzerland in this shit.
Ping pong.
Because I love them both. I love them both so much, and he's a great nomination, and he's earned his place in the Hall of Fame. Steve Ray's in for me.
So now we have 3, which means we have 2 left, and we've been through the whole slew here once, so we'll return to Doug. Doug, give us another name, and hopefully we can get number 4 into the Hall of Fame here. Go ahead.
Well, Damien's already been mentioned, and I do like him because he did an animation. It's on my website for my rant on hot dogs. So go to roadcookers.com if you want to see who Damien is. I am going to go back to Chris Young. I think I agree with, I think it was you, Greg, that mentioned Chris Young and what he's brought to the show. The intelligence and everything that he brings, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
All right.
And I think he's been on 7 times. Yeah, 7 times in 2.5 years.
He's
a chef.
We have 2 of 5 votes to get Chris Young into the Hall of Fame. Mr. Positivity, Chris Young into the Hall of Fame, yes or no?
Why do you got to start with me?
I don't think it matters where we start on this one, unfortunately, but go ahead.
This guy's been nominated like, am I correct here? It's been like every year. I feel like this
last 3 years in a row, I believe. Like right from the get-go. Right from the get-go. He's
been that good.
Yeah, I remember his interview, one of them at least, and I think just I'm going to give a yes based off of that and how often everyone wants to do it in. I just got to let you guys have yours.
Matt Osman. Is Chris Young getting into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame?
Yes, he is.
Oh, wow. It's enough of a gap to make me question where you were going with that. We are now 1 away. John Solberg, the executive producer of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less. 10 minutes or less. Chris Young getting into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, yes or no?
He's been on this board a long time. Yeah, let's move him off this fucking board so we can move on.
Right. Now remember, John, if you don't want to, you don't have to. This is every man standing on their own moral compass.
Hey, we
no
gotta
peer
work
pressure.
Across aisles. Here, we got to move things forward.
This isn't a republic or a democracy. This is like a free. This is the Wild
Republic,
West. Yeah, this is the Wild West. This is a kangaroo court.
Every person that we speak of on this segment is worthy. No one is ever unworthy on these nominations.
That's right, because they were all guests at least once, so that qualifies them. Okay, we got 1 spot left in the inn. John, it's your turn to renominate. Who are you going with?
Oh man, this is tough, but there's a chance with it. I'm going to go off the grid. I'm going off my original, and I'm going with Wes Wright.
Oh, Wes Wright.
Because I go with Wes Wright. Because he has been on my list for a few years, but I'm going to say Wes Wright. Where's he at in the mix?
He's got 2 of 5 votes right here. Matt Osman mentioned him. So we're 2/5 of the way there.
And Wes is that's the information that I enjoy the most, equipment. So I'm very biased toward his content. He does a great job. He's really on the inside. He's the Chris Young of the gear, if you look at it that way. The guy brings the heat on the equipment. And we can compare him to some other websites, fire experts, no names please, and you go like, oh, look, this guy is a genius when it comes to the equipment and how the business is run.
Let's go over to Doug, right next to John. Matt was the only other Wes Wright devotee at this point. Doug, is Wes Wright in, yes or no?
I'll be like, Chris, why do you have to come to me first? But he is the new Derek Riches of our show, in my opinion. He gives a lot of information, wealth of knowledge. Okay. To Greg's show. That's right. Point taken. 14 to 15 times I looked up. He was actually, even though they were in no certain order, he was number 6 on my list. So I'm saying yes.
All right. That now gets us 3/5 of the way. We'll go to the great city of Utah, where our pal Rusty Monson, a.k.a. Mr. Positivity, will tell us, is Wes Wright into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame, yes or no?
I think there's better people.
Okay.
In my opinion. So I'm going to say no.
Unpositivity, Rusty Monson. All right. John, that was almost a great pull. Came up just a little bit short. Matt, just for shits and giggles, were you a yes or a no?
Oh, I was a yes. I nominated.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, I'm not going to tell you how I was going to vote. So we'll go to Rusty Monson, who will now renominate. Go ahead, Rusty.
First of all, I'd really like to know how you'd vote on that one. I feel like we should know.
I was going to vote yes, of course. I mean, like, he's a huge contributor to my show.
I was really gambling there to make myself feel a little bit better, but I rolled the dice, and it was just snake eyes.
Yeah, you took a shit all over it, but go ahead.
Hey, man, it gives us something for next year.
I hear you.
100% Christy Vanover. She is awesome. And if you don't know much about her, because maybe she's not new by any means, but she is, I'm going to reiterate, she is really, really all over the place. She's just awesome as far as knowledge, as far as cooking skill, as far as an interview goes. She's great to listen to. I would love to have her on the show. If you ever nominated someone to be a quarterly guest, that'd be my first person that I would nominate to that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going Christy Vanover.
All right. As I peruse the list, John was a Christy Vanover devotee, which means we'll go to Matt Osmond from Tennessee. Christy Vanover, yes or no, into the Guest Hall of Fame this year?
Not to have the volley with Rusty, but Amy Mills, in my opinion, no.
Right. Doug, just for fun, were you a yes or a no?
Not yet.
Also, I was a no.
I was going to withdraw mine, Rusty. Just because of Wes Wright, you bitch.
All right, let's play nice, guys. All right, Matt Osmond, you have time to renominate. And by the way, Wes Wright was right there. I mean, 4/5 in, and Rusty said, no, wait until next year. All right, Matt, who do we renominate?
It's got to be Amy Mills. I'm not biased because of my monetary success this past weekend, but she is a legacy.
What does that mean?
Right there.
No.
What does that mean, Matt?
He plays
we brought home
this weekend.
Oh, look at you! All right, go for you! Go for you!
First in ribs, was it not? Yes.
Second in pork.
All right, enough of that. We're doing a Hall of Fame thing here, and we're running out of time.
Amy Mills.
Okay, I'll go first. And we're moving on. I will nominate. Ooh, wait. Shit. I mean, it's not like I was picking really well, but 4/5 of my people have gotten into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame this time around. Oh, wait. No, that's the wrong name. I didn't want to delete that one. Huh. Well. Let's look this over. We voted Christy out. Husbands was out. I think I'm going to renominate Mike McLeod. Again, 10, 12 plus interviews over the course of 15 years. Started in competition barbecue, giving hot takes about KCBS and unveiling things like the Sam's Club when nobody knew what the hell that was. Eventually starting World Food Championships, giving great interviews about that, dropping exclusives, always available. And again, not afraid of a hot take when one is offered. So I am re-nominating Mike McLeod for 2024's Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame for a huge body of work in multiple different sectors or disciplines within the live fire industry. John, yes or no on Mike McLeod?
You just reminded me of something that was really big that I was overlooking.
All right.
Mike McLeod would be driving down the road and pull over on the side of the road and take a call and come on the show.
Yes.
And just like that sentence, Joe, I am embarrassed that I have never considered him for the Hall of Fame. Yes, he has my vote.
Now, remember, we're the same group of guys who 2 years ago hadn't put Chris Lilly into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. So we are not above reproach. Let's just say that. All right, so we have... where's my Mike McLeod? 1. We have 2/3. Rusty, yes or no on Mike McLeod?
Love his interviews. Actually, they're super great. Great one. Yes.
All right. That's 3/5. Feeling a little momentum building here. Matt Osmond, yes or no on Mike McLeod?
Leave it up to Doug. Bring him in.
Leave it up to Doug. World Food Championships, Bitterman, Doug, Rogue Cookers, Scheiding. Let's leave it up to him. Doug, moral compass is yours. Is Mike McLeod in, yes or no?
Those 3 hour for 5 or 6 days are tough to overlook, but he has been a stalwart and done many things, including, coming on and with KCBS, and he's a straight shooter, in my opinion, when he does come on the show, and he brings a lot of knowledge and from a marketing standpoint. So overlooking that, I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Boys, we did it just like that. It only took 45 minutes to put 5 new people in. And by the way, all 5 of my nominations got into the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame this year. I don't know if I'll be able to do that again. So making it into the class that we all unanimously agree on, Matt Frampton, Fred Bernardo, the smoking guitar player, Steve Ray, Owl's Nest Barbecue, and Steve Ray's Midnight Oil, Chris Young of Combustion Inc., amongst many other things, and rounding it out, Mike McLeod from MMA Creative / World Food Championships. We have no time for Assurity questions, but we do have time for the YouTube poll question of the week. So we'll ask everybody this rather quickly. Do you believe that the Ninja gas and hot air powered grill will actually happen in 2025? Rusty, yes or no?
No.
Matt, yes or no?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. John, yes or no?
Absolutely. Them Chinese are quick when they're ready to be.
What?
Get that free stuff out of
here. Doug, yes or no?
I'm going to go yes, because they've got a stockpile of knives that they have to give away when they sell those things.
What the fuck does that even mean?
It's a gimmicky thing. It's like those Ginzo knives that you used to get, and you get.
Where am I living? What's with you guys? Holy shit! I said yes before. I continue to say yes. 60% of the voting public said no. I hesitate to offer promotion here tonight to at least 2/4 of you. Rusty, what are we promoting tonight?
I am now a co-host periodically on the Right on Cue podcast. If you guys go listen to that. I know I've said it before, but my podcast will be coming out again soon. Now that I have time, I keep on getting busy, which is a good thing. But funny enough, you deal with food trucks, you find out they're as busy as you are. So I have some in the bag. I'm just waiting to get more so I don't get behind.
All right.
And
Matt.
that is called On the Road, a food truck podcast.
All right. Matt, what are we promoting tonight?
As the producer of the Right on Cue podcast, I was going to promote it. Rusty did. So follow Blinky's Offset Barbecue __. And we've got a lot of catering and a lot of stuff. So come on and check out all the fun.
John, what are we promoting tonight?
The best moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less this Friday. Don't miss it. Subscribe to the podcast feed and check it out.
Douglas, what are we doing?
Just got back from Traeger, shot some videos, so there'll be some video content coming out, taught a shop class, and I'm on this past Saturday's Baseball and Barbecue. This book that was actually mentioned on the show, I think Daniel Vaughn, and we had Joseph R. Haynes, the author, about this. This blows up Joe Haynes. He blows up all the other books on the history of barbecue. It's fantastic.
Do you guys know who Joe Haynes is? Like, did you ever, John? I assume you've heard the name. Is it through the show, or did you know Joe like previous to the show?
Just through the show.
Yeah. Matt, you ever heard of Joe Haynes before? I doubt it.
No, sir.
Rusty, probably no way, right?
He's a made-up creature like Pat LaFrida.
That's right. All right. So I don't know if I can find it quickly. Can everybody just hang up for like 1 second? Let me see if I can dig through the archives and see if I can find something. Stand by.
Well, I can talk about the book.
No. I want you to talk about
not the first book.
Oh. Yeah, his other book is the history of Virginia barbecue.
Yes.
How much would you pay for all this? Don't wait, there's more.
Yes, and you're Ginseng 9. It's coming. Oh, it's
coming through.
Really a fantastic book. So,
all right. I don't think
he
I
lays
have
it out like an attorney.
I don't think I have the whole thing.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Any part you have is going to be awesome.
Intro. All right. Let me see if I can pull it over here. Oh, good. It's going to load. Oh, fuck. I just fucked that up. This is Joe Haynes. He's the guitar player. He's doing the beat drum. And he's going to sing here in a second. It's going to blow your mind. Or you're going to blow your head off. Oh. Maybe I didn't have the words in this one. Oh, shit. All right. Hold on.
Big name interviews.
Here we go. I got a little one here. Little extended.
He kicks tires.
And he lights the fire. He's working all night.
Well, he never grows tired. Still smoke meat.
That's his only goal.
As he puts a pig in the pit. And he smokes it whole.
He's a pit master. Rusty, what do you think?
It sounds like Leonard Skinner.
Oh, wow.
If Leonard Skinner was a guy at a pool hall.
Exactly.
Way better than Creed.
That's Andy Husband's laughing, by the way. All right, I can't believe I dug that up. But that's who Joe Haynes is. He fancies himself a musical talent. He certainly can play the guitar way better than me. Singing, probably a different thing. I'm probably a better singer. He should have contracted me to be the lead vocals on that song. We'd probably have a semi-hit on our hands at one point, but who knows? All right, Doug Scheiding is sitting right next to me from Row Cookers, the longest-running embedded correspondent from Texas. There's John Solberg from Michigan, the second longest-running embedded correspondent. Rusty Monson below me from the great city of Utah. And directly below Doug is Matt Osmond, the embedded correspondent from Tennessee. Guys, appreciate you putting in another class, and we will see you again next September, where we will put in another class of Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Famers. Wow, we've done it. Let's get rid of this song. I don't even know what the hell's going on here. We did no breaks, so let's get caught up on a little business here. I got one read left. And then we'll close it out 6 minutes into the top of the hour, so a little bit of extended here, but well worth it. Are you ready for that perfect 180 score on chicken, ribs, pork, or brisket? Big Papa Smokers has you covered with the best rubs, sauces, and injections in the business. For a limited time, use promo code BBQ Central and get 10% off all Big Papa Smoker products. That's right, 10% off secret ingredients the championship teams swear by and win with weekend in and weekend out. Don't miss out on this incredible offer, whether you're aiming for the next GC, if you're back at your next barbecue contest, or you're just looking to take your barbecue and grilling game to the next level of awesome. Your food just got better with Big Papa Smokers. Available offer valid now through October 31st. First time reading, evidently. Visit BigPapaSmokers.com. That's BigPapaSmokers.com. Use promo code BBQ Central for 10% off all of your Big Papa Smokers products. We will attempt to wrap the show. After this, stick around. We'll be right back.
Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Greg Rempe.
All right, we thank the embedded correspondent for really putting in a class much quicker than I thought. It felt really good having some repetitive names coming through each of our lists, so that gave me some encouragement that we could drive through it. And lo and behold, a Matt Frampton, a Fred Bernardo, a Steve Ray, a Chris Young, and a Mike McLeod later, we have a 2024 Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame class. So congratulations to all of them. I will reach out to them, get their rings ready. We'll have them on for the origin stories. This portion of the show brought to you by McAuliffe Cigars. Step into the world of McAuliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter in a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. The portfolio is a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. For instance, the Color Series, my favorite, the McAuliffe Black, crowned 2023 Cigar of the Year by the guys at Cigar Authority. Of course, you have the newly released McAuliffe Blue and the highly newly released McAuliffe Red, although I haven't really seen it anywhere, but I've heard it might be available in some places. That's a vibrant expression of flavor, capturing spirit and adventure. How do you find them? Go to McAuliffeCigars.com, use the locator, and find a retailer near you. If you would like to sample, just email me, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com, and I'm happy to send you a black, a blue, or both samples if you are so inclined. That's going to do it. All the way back in the first hour, we had a visit with none other than Ryan Zaboral from Pits and Spits talking about the new stainless steel griddle / gas grill, $4,000, lasts you forever. Then we had an open segment recapping some of the Hartville hardware stuff. We also talked about the t-shirt. Don't forget about that. If you're interested in getting a t-shirt, you got to act quickly. You can Venmo me the money at Greg Rempe on Venmo, GREGREMPE, and then the last four of the cell number, all zeros, 0000. Second hour, embedded correspondents joined me, of course, and we put in a new class for the Barbecue Central Show's Guest Hall of Fame. Always appreciate their hard work. And again, went better than I expected. I thought there was going to be a lot of poo-pooing on a lot of different nominees, but happy to see everybody's realizing the value. And as John said, everybody mentioned tonight, certainly more than qualified to be in the Guest Hall of Fame. So we'll see all of this re-happen or rehash again in September of 2025. Big show planned for you next week. Malcolm Reed is in. Sam the Cooking Guy is in. Al McAuliffe from McAuliffe Cigars is in. And then Gordon Thompson from Engine 2 Barbecue is in as well. Wow. Packed show as we get into Q4 of 2024. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, this is your program host and proud U.S. American Greg Rempe saying, Shalom! Shalom!
This is Jeff Stone of Grandpa's Pride Barbecue from the Panhandle of Florida, and you are listening to the Barbecue Central Show.